Today we'll be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. What's the matter?
There's a spider.
Where?
Right there.
It wasn't even a spider, it was an ant.
Oh, man.
So, we saw Ant-Man and the Wasp this weekend. What did you think?
I liked it.
Why did you like it?
I liked it because I liked how there was the humor,
Okay.
and I liked how Scott got pulled into Ant-Man because there was a problem.
Right, so Scott is Scott Lang, played by Paul Rudd, and he is the Ant-Man. And so what you're saying is he's kind of like a normal everyday guy, and he's just doing his thing, and all of a sudden he winds up getting roped into to being Ant-Man. So he's not looking to be a hero. He's kind of a hero by accident. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And it is very funny, you're correct. There are a lot of funny moments. Does one stick out in your mind? Which one?
All of the card tricks.
Oh, right. Okay, because at the beginning of the movie, Paul is sort of on house arrest. He can't leave the house, so he has to. He has his daughter there, Cassie. Was that her name? Cassie. And he's, they're playing or whatever else. And so one of the things he's done to entertain her is he's learned magic. And so he's doing card tricks and different things. And that kind of comes back and recurs throughout the movie several times. And it works really well, especially with the FBI agent, Jimmy Woo. There's some great, and I'm not going to give it away, but there's some great things in there with the magic and what have you. And Jimmy Woo has a lot of funny parts. He's got a funny part. And Lewis, Scott's business partner, they're going to have the security company. He's got some wonderful funny moments, especially the truth serum monologue is hilarious. What was your favorite part of the movie? Did you have a favorite part? Which one?
The beginning where Scott is playing with his daughter, Cassie.
The one in the boxes?
Mm-hmm. And they're stealing things.
Right. I actually felt like a terrible father watching that because I think I'm so great because I take a cardboard box at our house and I cut it and make a rocket ship out of it or an airplane. And he took these cardboard boxes and he made this elaborate. It was like a building, and they were in the building and they were robbing the building, and he had string kind of in there with red light on it, so it looked like lasers, and they had to crawl through the lasers, and there was a slide, and it was incredibly elaborate, and I felt like, wow, he's Father of the Year because it was so cool. But that was a great segment at the beginning of the movie, and it sort of foreshadowed what was going to happen in the movie in some ways. And I'm not giving anything away, but it gave you an idea of that. Who's your favorite character?
I liked the Wasp and Cassie.
Okay, and how come you like the Wasp? The Wasp is Hope Van Dyne, played by Evangeline Lilly, and that's the original Wasp's daughter and the original Ant-Man's daughter. So go ahead, why'd you like her?
Because she's a girl, but she's a superhero, so to me, she's like a leader.
Right. And she played a great part. I thought she was in the first movie as well, but I liked her part even better in this one. And she got to do more because she got to be a superhero. You're right. So that's cool. Anybody else you liked?
Cassie.
Cassie? How come?
I liked Cassie because I just thought she was cute, and how at one point she knew something. And so, like on TV, there was news, and then she smiles and looks up.
Yeah, she's one of the best kid characters in one of these movies that I've ever seen. I thought she did a great job. She was in the know. She knew what was going on, and she was clever. And I like when she was leaning there next to her dad, and she said that she wanted to be his sidekick, even though he kind of wanted Wasp to be his sidekick. And I don't know whether you know this or not, but in the comic books, when she grows up, she does become a superhero, Cassie. She becomes, I think her character's name is Stinger at first. I think it changes, but originally it's that. And I do know for Avengers 4, the rumor is they have cast a 16-year-old to play Cassie in that film, which tells you two things. One, there will be some time passage between Infinity Wars, which was Avengers 3, and Avengers 4. But also, perhaps Cassie might be a superhero by that time. So that'd be kind of cool. I agree. She was a great character. There are a lot of good characters in this film and a lot of fun moments. So it sounds like you liked it. You said you liked it. Anything else that you think of that you remember?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I know you don't want to give secrets away. I could say that there are a lot of great performances in it. I didn't see a weak performance in the group. And it was how did you feel like tone-wise, this one versus like Infinity Wars? When I say tone, like Infinity Wars was a really intense, deep, kind of dark movie. What did this one feel like compared to that for you?
It felt not so dark. Like at times there were happy moments and then there were sad moments or something like that. So I liked it in that way. I think it was a little better than Infinity Wars.
It was certainly more fun than
Right.
Infinity Wars in a different way because it was humorous. It had a lot of light touches to it. Scott's character, they could have really, this movie could have floated along just on Paul Rudd's charisma as an actor but they didn't do that. And to his credit, he didn't do that. I guess he wrote a lot of his dialogues and jokes in there because he gets a writer's credit, I believe, on the movie. But I mean, they really went for it. And Michael Douglas as Hank Pym has a lot of funny moments. I loved when, and I don't want to give the line away, but when Wasp and Ant-Man go into the school and they're trying to get something out of the school because Cassie took it to school with her didn't realize she had done that. And Scott's having trouble with his sizing device, so he can't control the size of Ant-Man. And he gets back into the car, and Michael Douglas turns to him and makes this comment because he just got out of school. Great line. I don't want to give it away because it's too much fun for you to enjoy it when you see the movie. Lewis has wonderful moments, and like I said, the truth serum monologue is hilarious, and if you remember that. And the two other guys that are ex-cons that are part of the security company, they have funny moments. Wasp has clever moments. The bad guy is played by Walter Goggins. I believe I'm saying his name right. And he's kind of fun as the bad guy and a little bit funny and just villainy enough to make it work without it being too much. And then there's Ghost, who's the other villain, and she's a self-serving villain in this. And she has just enough there. We see Lawrence Fishburne in this piece as well. I don't know if you would notice this as much, but when they sort of do a de-aging, because they show Michael Douglas when he was young, when Wasp was a little girl, when Hope Van Dyne was a little girl, they show her mom and dad leaving, and her mom is played by Michelle Pfeiffer. She's the original Wasp. They de-aged Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas, and for my money, this is the best CGI de-aging I've ever seen in a movie. It really looked like them younger. And I actually sat there, and when they de-aged Lawrence Fishburne, I thought, wow, that's even better. And then I found out that they brought his son in. They brought Lawrence Fishburne's son in to film that sequence, so that's actually his son. So that's why it looks so good. But that was some fun moments. So I had, how about action-wise? Did you think there was enough action, too much action? Did you like the action?
I think there was enough action.
Right. I really liked how they would choreograph like the fight scenes, not just the fight scenes, but the chase scenes with the vehicles, and they would enlarge them and get smaller, whether it was the characters in a fight scene or the vehicles. I was amazed at how they were able to do that, how it could, and it looked seamless. Did you find that cool? That was great. I also thought it was kind of cool that it was in San Francisco. It's set in San Francisco, and we got a lot of, and the California coast, and you've never been there, so you wouldn't necessarily know that. But there's these landmarks that are just synonymous with San Francisco, and you see them in like the movie Bullet with Steve McQueen, where there's a chase scene through the streets. But also, there used to be a television show called Streets of San Francisco, which starred Michael Douglas. And they had this great chase scene, and my only regret with the whole thing was that Michael Douglas wasn't in the car chase scene because he was in Streets of San Francisco. So I thought that would have been kind of fun. But I like how they enlarge the building where the lab is, his lab, Michael Douglas, Hank Pym's lab. And when it shrunk down, do you remember what it turned into? So they shrunk.
A suitcase.
Yeah, it was a suitcase. So he lifts up the handle and rolls it away like it's luggage. I thought that was so clever and well done. But the way they're able to morph between the large character and in the middle of a fight, shrink it down.
I wonder if they're going to have that type of suitcase now.
That's true. They should market that. You're right. Marvel, Disney. I'm sure Disney will have it in the gift shops before this video is over. It's probably going to be there.
There could be a large window.
Right.
Just open the window.
Now we took Colton too, and I would say within the first 10 minutes, and you wouldn't have heard this because you were sitting on this side of me, but he was sitting on the other side of me. And we were all laughing at something, and there were a lot of, I can't tell you what, because there were so many things to laugh at. But Colton elbowed me, and you have to hear his voice or the way he talks to really appreciate this. I can't do it justice, but he's like, "This is why I've been begging to see it, because it's funny." It was just, and I don't know, and then I started laughing at him. It was he was having the best time. And unfortunately, the poor little guy, he didn't take a nap, so he passed out before the end of the movie. And the scene that he really wanted to see was which one?
The Pez scene.
Yeah, the scene with the Hello Kitty Pez. He then died. All he talked about was that scene, and he missed it. So we'll have to take him back. I guess you'll have to twist my arm, and we'll have to go back. Yeah, well, it's not that much of a twist. But anyway, he loved it. Couldn't stop talking about it. Thinks he saw the whole movie. He doesn't remember falling asleep. He thinks he saw the whole movie. So obviously what he saw made him very happy, and he enjoyed it. What else? Anything else you want to say about it? Was anything in it scary for you?
Not really.
I didn't find anything that I would give as a parent thing. I mean, Ghost's character, I guess, could be a little bit intense here and there. I didn't find it to be that way. You know who I'm talking about with Ghost? And the one that kind of phases in and out. Yeah. I didn't think she was that scary, based on other things that you guys have seen anyway.
Colton.
He wasn't bothered by it. He liked it.
He saw her once,
Yeah.
but still.
I think it seemed fine. Anything you want to point out as being, so you think it was kid-friendly? I think, parent-wise, I think it was kid-friendly. You think it was kid-friendly? All right. You never saw the first Ant-Man,
No.
did you? Now we'll probably have to go back and see that, because do you like Ant-Man now as a superhero? And we've talked about in previous episodes that you've seen some other superhero movies. Where do Ant-Man and Wasp fall in your ranking of superheroes as far as liking them? Are they at the top of your list as far as liking them, or in the middle, or?
Probably a little more than in the middle.
So a little higher. I like them. I like them because I like Scott because he's just a normal guy. And he's very funny. He brings a lot of humor in and what have you. And I thought Hope Van Dyne, the Evangeline Lilly's character, who's the Wasp, she's actually a really strong superhero. She's a better superhero than Scott is, as far as superheroes go. But he gets the job done. He does the job. He's much more skilled than, let's say, the Greatest American Hero back in the 80s. So he's not that inept by any means. He's very, he's able to handle the situations, but it's very funny the way he does it, because he's not like a hero necessarily, right? He doesn't set out to be a hero, which is what you said you originally thought was really cool about it and you liked about it, is that he gets kind of pulled into being a hero. Am I correct? Is that what you All right. So as far as yummy or crummy for you?
Yummy.
Yeah, definitely yummy for me. I think you'd have a lot of fun at it. And I think we've said it's basically the antithesis of Avengers Infinity Wars.